Hey everybody, Mo here, and in today's video, I'm actually bringing you guys, I already closed it because I already recorded it, but just a quick intro here. I'm bringing you guys an update on the 2023 competitive revamping from Riot Games on Legends of Runeterra. So they just released a humongous article and actually got early access to it because they released it in different languages first. So I go over the whole article. It is very long, and I'm making this intro for two reasons. One, to let you guys know that some of the translation is really rough because it is being translated over from another language, so some things aren't just super easy to read. And two, you might want to put it on like 1.5 speed or 2 speed to watch it, because like I said, it is very long. I think the whole video unedited is like 50 minutes or something like that, so I will try and chop down a lot of the dead time, a lot of me repeating myself, stuff like that, and try and get it down to as much as I can. But because there's not really gameplay to it, you might want to just put it on 1.5 speed and listen to it that way. But that's gonna be it for the intro. I am a little spoiler, I am super excited and super happy with this announcement, so I'm sure if any of you are competitive players or aspiring competitive players, you will be too. So #1 place for competitive content, join the discords, like, subscribe, all the type of stuff, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. All right, so apparently the competitive the competitive announcement, the competitive changes have already been announced on, is this Taiwanese Twitter? Or not Taiwanese Twitter, Taiwanese LoR. I know Brazil got it leaked for like 15 minutes earlier, but then immediately got taken down. So I've heard like a thing about how the tournaments work, but that's really all I know. So I didn't get to read the whole thing. I didn't really look at it. I just had a bunch of hearsay, but now I get to actually look at it. So Pog. Hey, I always got to count on Brazil for the leaks, but we are live over on YouTube right now, or over on Twitch, and this is going on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube watching this, go check out my Twitch channel. Link will be down in the description below. And I would have the Twitch chat on and the overlay going on right now, but someone said fuck, and you can't say that in the first like 30 seconds of the video or show that without getting demonetized. But luckily we made it past that part. Yeah, so let's get into the 2023 competitive mode. So this is going to be for the new season. Apparently, Riot's been really hyping up this revamping or reworking competitive system, blah, blah, blah. Like, they have big high hopes. They've really been selling people a copium and hopium. So now we finally get the announcement. Let's see if it's good, or if it's just, you know, a bunch of, if it's the Hearthstone 10-year anniversary announcement or whatever, where they tried to phrase it as, oh, we have a huge announcement for Hearthstone competitive. And if you know, you know. So welcome to competitive mode 2023. We've got all sorts of tweaks in the work. To take a look for an overview of what's new. Oh, also, like I said, this is translated from the Taiwan LoR page. So if something isn't phrased right, or if I have a hard time understanding something, you'll just have to wait for the English version to come out to actually understand it. Oh, thanks for the sub, DPZ. Oh, we'll do that. Woo! Just subscribed. Thanks for the 3 years. All right, sorry, YouTube. Back to paying attention. Sorry, 3 years is just a lot of time. But all right, so competitive mode. When looking for our competitive system, what it means to focus on PvP, we ask the player community what a system like that looks like. For Reddit to Twitter, Discord calls, and private messages, your opinions and feedback have allowed us to come up with the following 4 goals for the PvP mode in 2023. More competitive opportunities, yes. Fun and rewarding PvP battles for players of all levels. Okay, I obviously don't know that or understand that, but I'm sure that is something that people wanted. Gain a variety of game experiences and new modes. Maybe, sure. And luxury rewards. Sure, I understand that too. Me personally, all I care about is more competitive opportunities. I don't really care about luxury rewards unless they're talking about actual money, which I'm sure they're not. I'm sure they're just talking about like in-game boards and in-game emotes and having the world champion, you know, face like on a card in game like Hearthstone did and stuff like that. Like, you know, the last part sounds really cool. If it was like actual money, like I would care, but I would bet all of the money I've won in LoR that they're not talking about actual money. Gain a variety of game experiences and new modes. I guess people have asked for that. Maybe. Sure. It's probably gonna be the same types of people that ask for PvP battles for all levels. Again, these are not things that I personally asked for, but I'm also not in this category. And I also just strictly care about the like whatever the competitive format is. But just like in Magic the Gathering, if the competitive format is modern or legacy or not standard, guess what I'll be playing for that season? I'll be playing Modern or Legacy or whatever not Standard is. So if they turn around and say, hey, the Legacy format or whatever, I think they're calling it Eternal, or Eternal format is going to be the competitive format for this major tournament this month, or how you qualify for Worlds. Guess what format I'll be playing? I'll be playing Eternal, and I'll be practicing that. More competitive opportunities, though. This is one that me and a lot of my friends, because top LoR players were wanting and excited for. This one is great, because for those of you that don't know, sorry, and this will be edited out a lot, so you guys know. For those of you that don't know, right now how competitions work and seasonals work is you essentially get every 2 months, give or take, every 2 months you get a major tournament, and then that's it. That's really all it is. But as far as LoR sponsored events, or like Riot sponsored, it's just every 2 months you get a big major tournament. Granted, the prize pool is really, really nice, and the tournament is really cool and competitive for the most part. You only get an opportunity once every 2 months. And if you're a competitive card player, or if you know anything about competitive card games, you know that consistency is what matters. And getting to show off your skills once every 2 months is not really the best way to show off consistency. In the sense of, what is that? That's like 6, maybe 7 if they had like a short season. So it could be like 5 if they have a super long season. So about 5 to 7 times a year that you get to show off your skills against the best of the best. That's not really a lot. Like that's honestly not a lot. And then Worlds is just like a very short event with how they do that. So even if you're super consistent lead up to Worlds, it's kind of just like, oh, oops, win 0-2, you're done for, because there's no Swiss or anything. It's very interesting and how they run things right now. So more competitive opportunities sounds really, really promising. In order to achieve the above 4 goals, we have made comprehensive changes and are preparing to start a new public beta season. Since this is a public beta, we will not implement all the adjustments at once, so this public beta will also be a preview of new content in the future. In order to create the best competitive mode after the beta season, your opinions are very important to us. Please make sure to write your thoughts and discussion on the subreddit thread. And please see below for the content that remains unchanged and the upcoming adjustments and the new appearances. Please see below for the content that remains unchanged, the upcoming adjustments, and new appearances. Okay, so this is going to talk about the changes and stuff, as well as the stuff that's not changing. Cool. So yeah, so they just want your feedback. That's really all this paragraph said. Arena/season. The arena used to be a way to gain the highest glory and practice under the same format. Oh, so this is the gauntlet. I assume arena is just translation for gauntlet. Yeah, like I said, again, this is all being translated over from a non-Latin based language, so things can be very rough. The arena used to be a way to gain the highest glory and practice under the same format as the seasonal, I assume was what this is. We tested the players' reaction through the arena and time nexus and obtained very valuable information. With this information, we've created a daily brawl and Runeterra Open Tournament. So I think this means Gauntlet/seasonals. So they're saying Gauntlet was a way that was supposed to be a way for you to really try hard. It was supposed to be like the tryhards queue, because it's, if you wanted to practice for seasonals, you wanted to practice for tournaments, hey, this is it. This gives you the formatting, this gives you the timer, or the in-game timer, this gives you the best of 3, the 1 ban, it qualifies you for the seasonal, stuff like that. So, and then I assume they're talking about the seasonals, as they got a bunch of feedback on those things, and so the next part is going to be what they've changed for it. So they've come up with the Daily Brawl and the Runeterra Open Tournament. From what I've heard so far is, I don't know what Daily Brawl is at all, but the Runeterra Open Tournament essentially is replacing seasonals. So there's going to be no more seasonal tournaments, but there's just going to be the Runeterra Opens every month. So Daily Brawl. After the debut of the Daily Brawl, the structure of the fighting arena has also changed. In the public beta season, players will continue to fight until they get 6 wins or 3 losses. The Daily Brawl will take place every night from 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. server time. Again, I don't know what this is going to be translated to my time, I hope. I guess it could be 4 a.m. to 2 a.m. If it's for NA, this is going to essentially be 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. Central Standard Time. So like after the time most people would get off of their regular work scheduled job. And you can only participate in one a day, so be prepared. The format of the Daily Brawl will change every week. No matter what style of play you like, there will be opportunities to show your talents. The first round of Daily Brawls will include the following formats and expected debut in February. Oh, this is probably... Oh, okay. I can assume what this is. This looks like the dates... So for like February 8th and February 9th, it's going to be best of 1. For February 9th through the 18th, it's going to be best of 3. This is going to looks like best of 3 and then some type of stipulation. This is just telling you the different formats for the dates. Competitive info, infinite. Oh, okay, so here we go. This is the different styles. So I assume this is the like standard best of 3 with whatever. Okay, so competitive information. So these are going to be the different types of formats that we are going to get to play in. Infinite hero best of 1. Deck building rules. There is no limit to the number of heroes, which I assume is champion. Each card can be up to 3, 2 zones, I assume 2 regions. Not selected / disabled. I don't know what this means. Best of 1. One game determines the outcome. So this kind of just looks like build one deck. It's kind of just like build one. Oh, this looks like is no selected / disabled mean like no bans or something? No pick bans? I don't know. It just looks like best of 1 ladder. So you're just going to build one deck with, you can have any amount of champions you want. Looks like more than 6, potentially. And then it looks like more than 6 champions, which is going to be pretty interesting. And you're just going to play until you reach, what do they say? 6 wins? Yeah, 6 wins or 3 losses. So you're going to go until you try and get that 6 wins. Standard mode, best of 3. So this is just going to be standard competitive. Enabled, disabled. Yeah, this probably just means like pick bans. So best of 3 decks, pretty good. Build best of 1 freely. I don't know what this means. Deck building rules, infinite heroes, up to 10 regions available, 30 to 75 cards. Huh. This is kind of just like a free-for-all format style thing. So this one just sounds like very interesting. You can play literally any cards you want. This is like, you could just build literally any deck here. Any deck that requires 30 to 75 cards. Because you can have any amount of heroes, any regions, and it's best of 1. Interesting. That's interesting, because, you know, a lot of players have asked this question over the course of LoR history of what would be the most broken deck if you could just put any 40 cards together. And so now, people actually get to try it. I mean, I assume you can build this in client now, because for those of you that don't know, for things like Singleton, right? Like there have been Singleton gauntlets in the past. And when you challenge somebody, I believe, I'm sure I have a friend online here. I have many friends. Well, never mind. If you build a deck, new deck, you can set the rule set to Singleton. Special rules, Singleton. So even if you look, so it only lets you put 1 in here. So yeah, that's very, very interesting. So you can queue up with your friends and then click the Singleton button, like with friendlies, and play this really fun format, and it forces people to have the same type of deck. Like, see here, it literally won't let me add more than 1. So I assume with this mode, it will have the same thing. It will also say something like, oh, you can build a best of 1 freely deck, you can build this like, you know, infinite heroes deck, and then you can 1v1 your friends. For the like the competitive people, you can scrim, you can try and, you know, build the best deck, so that way you can do the you know, win these daily brawls. I don't actually know the importance of these daily brawls yet. I haven't gotten to that point, but I assume they're going to be important. And if they are, and you're going to want to, you know, test and scrim and get the best deck possible for that, yeah, that's going to be really cool. And it'll also be like a really good way to make content as a content, because I don't think it as a content creator side, you know, being able to just have all of these different formats now. Like, I could challenge you guys, my viewers, the people here on Twitch, some of the people on YouTube, you go check out my Twitch and my Discord, stuff like that. I could be like, hey, you know what today's gonna be, like, you know, best of 1 freely Friday or something. You know, come up with some stupid ass name that gets a bunch of clickbait, pulls in a bunch of people because it has little alliteration. And then I get to battle against you guys and see all of your degenerate things you come up with, and see if, you know, my chat full of silver players can beat a seasonal champion and all of his test partners, and what deck we come up with. So that, like, there's so much stuff to be done here. That's really cool. Like, I don't even care that this is like this is gonna be competitive in some way. Like I said, I assume this is gonna be like useful. Like, there's going to be a reason to play in the daily brawls. And that part is kind of cool. Just the fact that we're getting all of these different formats, though, to be able to play and play against our friends is going to be really, really, really cool. Daily Brawl entry fee. Oh, there's going to be an entry fee. Oh, editors know after a competition system comes out rotation, some permanent competition systems will also be on the fighting arena schedule. I don't know what that means. I don't know what this means. Daily Brawl entry fee. We want Daily Brawls to be competitive enough and more exciting, so we'll charge 650 green shards or 200 gold to enter. We're going to significantly reduce the entry fee during the beta season because we want players to have more opportunities to play, participate. We're still figuring out how much entry fee should be to get people serious about making the best decks possible, but we're not so high that players can't afford it. Okay. I like that. I like the fact that you can enter with like real money. 200 gold, do not do that. I will tell you right now, please do not do that. To give you guys an example, so I'm actually putting out a video right now on how to collect resources in LoR in 2023. 200 gold is, I hope this doesn't show my PayPal information, 200 gold is roughly $2 real. Roughly $2 real. With $2 real, with essentially 200 coins, you can buy like epic champion, 2 rare wild cards, and then like a common card, right? Like, you can get stuff like that. Or 600 dust. These 600 shards, I have 584,000 shards. Like, you realize that one diamond chest contains a minimum of 500 shards. So if you just go to your weekly vault and you get it to level 13, that is a minimum of 1,500 shards just for playing the game. If you just get your vault to level 10, you will have your, like, you will have 1,000 of these shards. Granted, you know, that's 600 shards per day. So 600 shards, you know, times 7. What is that? That's like a lot of shards. I don't know, I'm not really great at math. It's going to be a lot. We'll just say like 4,000 something, 4,100, 4,200. So that's like 4,200 shards a day, or a week. So if you get just a 3 diamond chests, if you just get your weekly vault to 3 diamond chests, that's 1,500. Yeah, I guess you will have to do a lot of work to put in. You'll probably have to get a lot of extra things. Okay, so I don't actually know what the capsules can include, but essentially you'll be getting 1,500 shards per week if you get to level 14 vault. But also, if you get to a point to where you have every card in the game, you are literally getting nothing but shards. Like, every duplicate card you get breaks down into a number of shards, which is really, you know, really good. So one, I think it's cool that I have a reason to spend these shards now, because I have literally not used these shards and I don't know how long. I have plenty of screenshots of other players because of the video I'm coming out with, showing me their amount of shards, and they also have around 500,000 shards. So it's really cool to, or not 500,000, but yeah, about 500,000 shards. So it's really cool to see us have a reason to spend our shards now. Or at the very worst, you know, it's $2. So $2 is not expensive. In America, obviously, I'm not going to speak for other countries because I don't know what their financial situations look like. But in America, 2 USD is not very much. Surely it can add up very quickly, because that turns into $14 a week. That turns into like 50-something dollars a month on just Runeterra brawls. If you do only buy with gold, that's 50-something dollars a month. So if that's what you want to do, you can. That is a good way for monetize. People have been saying, hey, LOR, you need a better way to monetize, get a reason for people to spend money here. Maybe this is it. So yeah. So yeah, talking about it. So daily brawl records. Oh, I don't know what this means. I feel like this is very important information. and I don't know what this is. So what I'm gonna actually do is ask my friends from Taiwan and hope they respond by the end of the video. What does this say? Oh wow, someone else literally just asked that question. And the same we have the exact same thought process. We just my friend asked our Chinese friend, and then I just asked the Taiwanese friend, like at literally the exact same time. So we'll have an answer by the end of the stream, or by the end of the video. And if we don't, I'll edit it into the video. Sharp Eye people should have spotted the titles and trophies in the Daily Brawl Awards of the public beta season, and you should be wondering what they are. We'll explain it to you soon. Yeah, so 10 points and a title is apparently. So this gives us, oh, okay. So apparently this is just points. This word or whatever translates to points. So if you get 6 wins, then you get 10 points, and then you get a title. And then if you get 5 wins, you get 8 points, 7 points, 6 points. And if you just enter, if all you do is pay your 600 shards or your $2, you get 3 points. So that's pretty good. This is really a way they're really trying to become inclusive and want tournaments so anyone can join them and anyone can have that shot at spiking a tournament. Runeterra Open. In Runeterra Open, so this is what's replacing seasonals apparently. So in Runeterra Opens, players will continue to fight until they have 8 wins or 3 losses. 2 weeks after each monthly version update, we will hold a monthly Runeterra tournament. The Runeterra Open tournament will be held on Saturdays and Sundays. Each player will participate once. The Open tournament is a large-scale competition. No entry fee is required. All players can participate. So again, they're being extremely inclusive right now to all types of players. In addition to the rewards being more generous than the daily chaos, I assume that's the daily brawl. It's just translated into a different word. In addition to rewards being more generous than the daily brawl, the season rewarder will also go faster. Open tournaments will give top players more opportunities to practice and compete in more exciting competitions. So I'm assuming this is their way of saying open tournaments will give top players more ways to qualify for Worlds, essentially. Let's see here. It's important to us that everyone can participate in Runeterra Open, and it's for free. We really want the Open to be a community thing that brings players together of all levels. A super exciting event to compete in. So after the public beta season ends, the Runeterra Open will add a second stage. Okay, so yeah, so just during the beta season, it's only going to be on Saturdays. But once the actual season starts, it's going to be on both Saturday and Sunday. So just like seasonals work now, is you're going to have a day 1 where once you get 8 wins, let's see here, yeah, once you get 8 wins, you qualify for day 2. And then day 2, I think is going to be supposed to be more of just like a bracket style thing. So the first day, Saturday, is the same as the public beta season, but the second day, Sunday, will allow players who have reached a certain score to face off and finally a winner. Yeah, so it's basically going to be like a... it's going to be like seasonals, so you kind of have your day 1 like Swiss style, where you go until you get 3 losses. So you essentially can go 8-2, which is pretty good. That's a little bit harder than what our tiebreakers currently are now, where you have to go 7-2. You just have to get 1 more win and go 8-2. And then you get qualified for day 2, and then day 2 they are going to put you in a bracket system where you face off against each other, the other players that went 8-2 or 8 and X, whatever. And finally, a winner. After the beta season, we'll adjust the rewards to reflect the competitive nature of phase 2. I think that just means like after the beta season. So during the beta season, nothing actually qualifies you for Worlds, is my understanding. So I think that's just their way of saying after the beta season, we'll adjust the rewards to like, one, they're using the beta system to see how many points they should be giving and to see like how the point system actually worked out in practice, to see if they should give more points, less points, more points here, less points here, stuff like that. And then also add on things like qualifications for Worlds and stuff like that. Runeterra Open Rewards. I don't know what this is. I'll ask my friend here. Oh, hello, Shadox. So yeah, I think beta season is just day 1. Yeah, beta season is just 1 day. What did you find out what this image says, or can we get someone to find out what that image says? I was gonna add Kanan. At Kanan. And yeah, and I figured we'll just have him translate it. Yeah, I don't know what this is, but I assume this is still just points. I assume this first one is still points. So if you get 8 wins on day 1, you're going to get 100 points, but then you're also going to get whatever this stuff is, and it changes here based on how many points you get. So if you get 7 points and 8 points, you get an extra something. And then if you get 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, you get this thing. So if you qualify for day 2, you need to go 8 and 2. No, you need to get 8 wins, period. So you can go 8-0, you can go 8-1, or you can go 8-2. But if you get 3 losses, you're out of the tournament. You're out of day 1. So if you're at 7 wins and 2 losses, you have to play 1 more game. And then if you win, you're 8-2 and you qualify for day 2. If you lose, you're 7-3 and you run ends because you hit 3 losses. So if you start and you just go 0-3, well, you're not going to qualify because you hit your 3 losses and you're going to be down here and you're going to get the rewards for 0 wins. So essentially just play until you have 3 losses or 8 wins, whichever one comes first. And like I said, we're going to wait for someone to translate that to see what the second thing is. Yeah. And then so open beta season, Runeterra open reward. So this is what happens. So World Series qualification. Open? Not quite sure what that is. Let's read it. So after open beta season ends, every second Runeterra Open in each season will become a World Series qualifying Open. A first place finish in the World Series qualifying Open automatically qualifies you for the World Championship. Unlike past regional qualifiers, we're not ready to reveal the exact structure of the rewards yet, but we'll be sure to share more updates with you once the beta season is over. Okay, so what this sounds like is, like I said, they're not doing it during beta season. But after beta season, every 2 opens is going to be essentially have the same impact as the seasonal. So again, this is going to be every 2 months. You're going to be able to qualify for Worlds. The difference between this and seasonals is that every month you get a big tournament to play in and practice and show your strength, and I assume get some amount of rewards for it. But the every 2 opens, so every 2 months, you get this tournament actually like directly qualifies you for Worlds, from my understanding. There's no more World qualifiers as far as like, oh, you like qualified for the World qualifiers and now you have to go 4-0 and then you're actually in Worlds. From what I understand, everything just like directly qualifies you for Worlds now, and Worlds is going to be like some big Swiss tournament, but I see here they have a section on Worlds, so we'll go over that here in a moment. So that's very cool. I haven't seen anything mentioned about cash prizes, but they also say here we're not ready to reveal the exact structure of rewards yet. So I assume we'll get like this whenever the beta season is over or close to the first actual Runeterra Open. And I'm sure there's still going to be cash prizes. I hope it's the same level as before, or I'd be okay if it wasn't the same level as before, if it was spread out across the multiple opens or something like that. Yeah, obviously I hope for the same as before because that was a lot of money. I don't think people realize that like the amount of money you win for winning a seasonals is insane. It's literally the same amount of money as people that win like Evo championships for fighting games. And I will tell you, winning an Evo championship in a fighting game is infinitely harder than winning a card game tournament of 1,000 people in Legends of Runeterra. Like, those things, as far as a skill level, are not in the same realm of difficulty. But we literally get the same amount of prize money as they do. So, like, the prize money we get is absolutely insane, and anyone that thinks otherwise has no idea what they're talking about when it comes to gaming prize pools. And 2023 World Series, I'm going to call it World Championship. We're not talking about baseball. Many players want to see Alan play in 22 Series Finals. We have heard your opinions and officially announced the 22 World Series. Aragorn will be qualified directly for this. Yeah, that's cool. Kind of sucks for Alan because he didn't get directly qualified. Really cool for Aragorn that they did decide to, make this change. A lot of people were extremely happy about this change. This was like one of the first things people said once they announced like, oh, we're having a second Worlds. People were like, oh, cool. Well, people were saying the finalists, like Alan and Yamato should have both been directly qualified, is what a lot of people said. But at the very least, I think almost everyone unanimously agreed that Alan should be directly invited back, or the previous world champion should be directly invited back. So it's really cool that that is what happened here. Editor's note, Alan's commentary was fantastic, so I'm personally very happy to have the opportunity to let him use his talent on his competitors. As a commentator, old mechanics like seasonal points and I assume this is like ladder points will be retired, and from now on there will only be Runeterra points. Runeterra points are mainly obtained through the Runeterra Open and the World Series Qualification Open. In addition, you can also get small amount of points by doing ladder climbing points. Players will not be able to earn points throughout the beta season. We will still be able to adjust most accurate perfect number, but we wanted to let you know in the future. Okay, cool. So I am assuming this is what this graphic is in correlation to. Is just like this big one probably tells you like how many points each thing's earn you. I actually think I have an English version. Yeah, so I do have the English image for this one, and this is basically just telling you the like time and the point acquisition, like how often you get them. So these two over here, so we'll start on the left here. So World Qualifier Open is every 2 months. That's what this 2 means. So this is going to be like the big seasonal every 2 months, the big one that qualifies you for Worlds. That's how you get points. Then the Runeterra Opens, which is every month, gives you that. This also says Runeterra Open. So Runeterra Open in 3 months. Oh, okay. So it's like a 3-month plan. So your first month you get points from Runeterra Open. Your second month you get points from the World Qualifier Open, which is the big seasonal that qualifies you directly for Worlds. The third month you get Runeterra Opens, and then these two over here say ladder. So I assume you get points from ladder each season, probably, or however that works. But then the one that interests me the most is this little guy right here. Says grassroots. So this little one says grassroots tournaments can get you points to qualify you for Worlds, which is something that I'm insanely excited for, and really, really optimistic, because that sounds fucking crazy. So ladder will count less than in the past. We're not sure because we don't actually know what the numbers are. And the first one's not going to count because they're going to use the first season to kind of see where the numbers would get you and see if they want it to matter that much, because during the beta season, that's what it is. It's called the beta because we're testing it out for them. So if the people on ladder end up getting, you know, like a shit ton of points, like way more points than they were expecting, they know, oh, we need to tone that down. Or if the people on ladder weren't getting any impactful number of points and players realize there's no reason to play ladder, then they're going to boost it up a little bit. So yeah, so we actually don't know until they release that information. Players have expressed to us that they have worked hard for a whole year, but they are eliminated in the regional qualifiers. Yes. 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 That's the most true statement you've ever said, Riot Games. It is very frustrating and disappointing not to have the opportunity to face top players from all over the world. Therefore, in order to make the competition of the World Series more intense and the rewards more generous, we've created a whole new process. Holy shit. This year, if you qualify for a World Series, you can directly enter the international stage. That's insane. This is basically means they're just doing Worlds. Instead of the previous rule, only 64 players per server can advance. We will now directly select players who advance the World Series from global players. The 4 main ways to qualify is Runeterra points accumulated throughout the year, reached in the first stage. I don't really know what this means. I'm assuming this means like first part of the year or something. Accumulated Runeterra points reached on the previous stage. Okay, so these are just like seasons, maybe is what they're calling them. Win specific Runeterra Opens, yep, and then win the final qualifier. This will be held before the World Series. So it sounds like there's like gonna be like a last chance Worlds qualifier. Wow, that is huge. That's actually insane. This paragraph right here, I'm not gonna try and sound elitist here, but to like 99% of you, you don't understand how big of a deal that this is. Like, from a top player's perspective that has been here both years that they had it, and going, like, I went 0-2 the first time and 1-2 the second time, it is very, very frustrating to feel like you worked hard all year to go to a tournament and have it feel just like any other tournament. And it doesn't get glorified by anything. You play against the same players you played against. It's not international. You can't even say like you went to World. You can say, I qualified for a qualifier that qualifies me for Worlds. And that's not cool. Like, that sounds a lot less cool and a lot less exciting than actually qualifying for Worlds. And what this does, what I have heard, I'm sure they'll get into it, is that Worlds is actually going to be like a Swiss format. And it's not just going to be this like double elimination, lose 2, you're out. Now, of course, in Swiss, for those of you that know, most of the time, once you lose twice, you're out. But you can at least still get to play, and that's not always true because of how tiebreakers work. So it feels like they're going to be helping you qualify directly to Worlds, so you know that, like, oh, you're going to be on the international stage. You can say you went to Worlds. You get to play against these international talents and the, you know, people from all over the world. as well as I believe the whole formatting for Worlds is going to be different as far as how the actual games and stages go, which would be extremely, extremely exciting and extremely good. So this right here is like every top player that's qualified for Worlds or tried to and made that journey. This is going to make them so extremely happy and just very, very excited. This graphic, do I have a translation of this graphic? I think so. I do have a translation of this graphic. So we'll just open it up here because there's a lot to take in. So Runeterra point acquisition. So this is going to be season 1, season 2, season 3. And this is how you, the group stage. So this is literally like, there's going to be a Swiss and then it goes into a double elimination top 16 bracket. That is so insane. So let's go over this schematic here. So World Interseasonal Champion winners plus Aragon. So these are the people that are qualifying for Worlds. So we know these people are, this is Floppy Mudkip, Ultraman, and Awesome. I don't know his like actual name or how you're supposed to pronounce it. I just know his endgame name is translated to Awesome. So those 3 people plus Aragorn, those are going to be 4 of the people already qualified for your Worlds 2023. So there's only 60 slots left. Those 60 slots go to World Qualifier winners, Runeterra point top finishers, and the Runeterra points for the yearly leaders. So, so it's Runeterra points from each season. Wow, that's really good. So the Runeterra points for each season, and then a total Runeterra points for the year. Wow, that is really, really cool. So you really want to work hard at getting those wins in the daily, what are these? I'm not going to remember the name of all these things. I'm just going to call them dailies. In the dailies and then the monthlies, like you really want to do as well as you can in those and, in ladder every season. And so it looks like they're going to have 3-month seasons. So it's going to be it's going to be Runeterra Open, the big open, and a third open, ladder the whole time, and then like little grassroots tournaments. I'm, again, not really sure on that, how many these will be. So you could approach this in 2 different ways. It will reward the players that are really consistent over the course of the full 10-month period, as well as it'll reward players that have a really good season. So if you have like a really good meta, let's say they just release an expansion that really clicks with you, they just release a champion that's really clicks with you. The best example I can give is like, as much as we meme on Darkodius, or we're going to do it again here, that guy was really good at Azir Aurelia. During Azir Aurelia season, he had insane ladder points. I don't think he really did well in tournaments, but we can, just say like, oh, he was doing really well because he's good at these, this style of deck that just released and is really good right now. He can pop off in that one season, and now he just qualifies directly to Worlds. Not just like, oh, he qualifies for the qualifiers and all this, like, bullshit. No, he's like, oh, you had a pop-off season. Congratulations, man. You're on your way to Worlds. Like, that is really, really, really cool. That they reward both players. And then again, the consistent players over over the full 10-month period is really what a lot of card gamers will strive for. If you don't just have one super high breakout season and you spike one big tournament and stuff like that, it will be recognized. And that's something that a lot of competitive players really want, is they want to be recognized for their consistency over season after season after season after season. Not just, oh, I did really well, but I'm not a good tournament player, or I didn't win a seasonals, I didn't top 4 seasonals, therefore I'm not qualifying for Worlds. It's no, you did well over a 10-month period, now you're going to get rewarded for it and, qualify directly to the World Championship, which is really, really cool. So we have that, and then, so this is going to be the first 9 months, and then that last month, it looks like there's just going to be a World's Last Chance qualifier. I assume this is just going to be like one huge tournament, and it looks maybe the winner, LCQ, the Last Chance qualifiers winners. So so it's going to be the winner of these 3 championships. I don't know if this is 3 separate championships, like per region, or if this is 1 championship per region, and because we have 3 regions, it's showing it 3 times. It would be really cool if it was 3 per region. I'm sure I could sit here and do the math and figure it out, because this is foregone. So we have 60 slots, World Qualifier winners, so that knocks down 3 slots per region, so that's another 9, so that picks us down to 51 slots. LCQ winners, let's assume, we'll say that one to last. So we have 51 slots, Runeterra point earners from each season. So that's going to be, 3, another 9. So that takes us down to 42 spots. And then yearly enders, so 42. So minus another 9, that takes you down to 31 spots. I'm sure okay, it sounds like I'm missing just like a bunch of people here. So even if this was 3, so that'd be another 9. That'd only take you down to like 22 spots or something like that. So I'm sure I'm missing a lot of spots here somewhere somehow. So yeah, maybe this is just 3 per region. That'd be really cool. Also, we don't know how many, so we don't know if it's like I was just doing the math for like, oh, the top 1 point earner, right? So like the number 1 top finisher, if they take, you know, like someone like Shadok said in chat, if they take the 4 top finishers, then obviously that number gets up there like really, really quickly. So we'll just have to see how many finishers they end up taking. Schematic diagram, ladder race. Okay, players will not be able to qualify for seasonals through ladder matches. So the points can be attained on ladder, which will be relatively small. However, we have no intention of leaving the ladder players alone. We are exploring ways to make them reward them clients, presence we think of. Exclusive player titles for top ranks. Very cool. Top 8 players in the beta season will be rewarded the title Angel of Justice. Top 100 players will get titles. Oh, so titles are cool. I wonder, that's probably going to be something that shows up like under your name or something in game. Very cool. We'll also continue to release exclusive avatars for ranked. Okay, so that's like the icons they have right now. I hope this ladder serves as a practice ground for competitive games, testing players' creativity and skill differences in different metas. Cool. PvP rewards, seasonal badges. I don't know what that is. Seasonal badges are a new way to customize your profile and show off your achievements, displayed on the loading screens when you're ready to battle the other players. Afterwards, the highest seasonal badge earned each season will also be displayed in your style profile. Oh, that's cool. Another way to like just show off. I love ways to show off. That's very cool. Title, World Ender Initiative. So the title available of the season rewards during the open beta season. Oh, here you go. This tells you what titles are. Titles are a new way to show off your skills and friends and your achievements, allowing you to express yourself and tell others what kind of player you are. We also see this as an opportunity to reward the best players with the highest title. Some titles can also be upgraded. For example, if you compete in Daily Brawl with 6 wins, you unlock the title Contender. If you achieve this 10 times, you get upgraded to Rivalry. Oh, very cool. If you prefer the old title, you can even upgrade. You can still choose the old one. Oh, that's very cool. So it really shows people like, oh, hey, don't fuck with me. I'm a 10-time back-to-back 1998, 1999, you know, NBA 2K Jam champion or whatever the title is. That's pretty cool. Nice. I'm sure they have stuff on here for like seasonal winner, blah, 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 like rank 1 finisher. That's cool. I didn't see where they said you put the title. I hope like in game or something, but loading screen's cool on your apparently there's like a profile now, which is very cool. Also, I know this video is getting long, but this is just a very long, very important article, and it will get trimmed down some. Yeah, so trophies represent your victories and progress along the season rewards route. This is the last and most mysterious reward on the list. We used to cram a bunch of in-game goodies into the event pass. That won't change. We're just adding another rewards route dedicated to the daily brawls Runeterra opens. Trophies will represent your victories and progress on the season rewards route. Season rewards route. So it looks like it is a season badges. So this looks like it's just going to be an event pass that's free. I hope it's free. I assume it's free. And then you just get to claim these rewards once you get enough wins or enough points or something. The season badge is an exclusive reward for season rewards route. You may find that there is no supreme glory in the rewards of the fighting arena, but don't worry, as long as season rewards route accumulates enough progress, you can still get the supreme glory. I don't really know what that means. The more you win, the faster you progress in the seasonal rewards route will accumulate. We are still adjusting the length of the rewards route and location of the rewards, so please give us comments and feedback. Please let me know any features. Cool. Make your way to the top. Make your way to the top of the rock. The Legends of Runeterra team is a group of passionate developers. We are a motley crew who take on multiple roles just to bring you, that is, all players, amazing new features. We will feature further strengthen community. Okay, so this is grassroots support. Here we go. I'm sure this is just saying we're going to do a good job and try hard. Grassroots support. We very much hope to cooperate with thoughtful community event planners and use small amount of Runeterra points to further attract high-level players to participate in community opens. We feel that expanding the space and opportunities for players to communicate and battle is a great thing for everyone. This requires us to dig into the support what we can do legally, and also requires the organizers to make some features But if players are interested enough, we think this is definitely a feasible project. Wow, that is insane. That is really fucking cool. The fact that they're going to be working with grassroots as much as they legally can and do what they, possibly can. That is insane. We already have really good grassroots setups. We have Master Runeterra's set up a couple like really big tournaments recently. We have I can't think of their name. ROL or League of Runeterra. I'm gonna feel so bad. So when they cast their Boulevard cast like every 2 weeks, they do those. We have really large team tournaments lately, like Aegis and one going on like literally last night that I can't remember. Oh, Sentinels. So we have a bunch of big grassroots tournaments. So this is gonna be really, really cool. OLS, yeah, OLS. Mystic Shots every week. Yeah, we have a bunch of like bi-weekly or weekly tournaments. That's really cool that they're gonna be helping those out. Event Builder. We have always thought that this thing is super cool, but super complicated. This tool will definitely require a lot of team resources and assistance of engineers, but if the incentive is large enough, we will start exploring whether we can launch it without affecting our plans. The content of this tool was developed in parallel. I assume Event Builder is like in-game tournament client type thing, which, oh my god, if our grassroots players or grassroots TOs got a hold of in-game client, the quality of LOR grassroots tournaments will go up significantly. Because I will tell you, my number one complaint and the number one reason I don't play or stopped playing in grassroots tournaments is because these fuckers, these little TOs, are too nice. Dude, they're too nice, and they don't call time on the rounds. This is my number one complaint. They will never call time on a round, ever. So if some people are in, like nowadays, we don't have to worry about it too much because we have a timer. So once the round actually starts, people are fine. But a lot of times people will take a long time to start. And especially back in the day, there was no timers. They'd be like, oh, the 15 minutes is up. And players would be like, oh, we're almost done. Or, oh, I'm about to win. Or, oh, I'm winning right now. I don't want to tie. And the game goes on for another like 15 minutes. And congratulations, you just made like hundreds of people just sit there and wait on you because your game was almost done. And the TOs are too nice to enforce time. So like stuff like that would be really good. Also, it would just be much more clean. I also think that one of the biggest reasons grassroots tournaments look bad or look like, oh, LOR doesn't have a competitive scene, but all these other games do, is because we don't have an in-client tournament system. And if something is in-client, people are much more likely to watch it or to play in it because it's on their screen. It's in-client. They don't have to do all this extra. They might not know about, I don't even know all the like Start GG or Smash GG or Battlefy or, they might not know to go to all these. Like the biggest thing would be like CSGO. For those of you that play CSGO, you don't play in ranked queue. For those of you that don't play CSGO, you're asking, well, why don't you just play in ranked queue? And that right there is almost the same thing that LOR has. Like if you want to play competition, most players might think, oh, Gauntlets is really good competition. It's this like best of 3 format, same thing as seasonals. Like this is competition. But if you're a competitive player, you know that you don't ever play in Gauntlets. And if you want competition in tournaments, you have to use all these third-party resources and third-party websites to find where all the big and competitive tournaments are. So that if we get something in client, that would be ginormous for the development of the competitive LOR community. Cross shard battle. Our player community is very close, and there are many plans or participants who have friends on different servers. We are currently studying how to allow players to play cross-server battles without too much trouble. That is so good. Like we used to have cross shard way back in the day. And they took it out. They said they took it out because they were working on something like really big for us. I assume they took it out just because it was taking too much resources or hard to implement or hard to keep up or hard to just do. Because I'll be honest, there hasn't been a single thing where I'm like, oh yeah, this was worth cross shard taken out. Not a single thing. There has not been a single thing in this game that I've been like, oh, I understand why cross shard had to die for this. No, not a single thing. This also would boost the competitive... This would also boost the competitive scene so much. Because the reason it doesn't right now is because if you want to play in an Americas tournament, most tournaments are held in Americas. So at this point, a lot of the top players have kind of just made their Americas smurfed, dropped $50 or played in it enough times to where they have, competitive decks. But because they don't play on it as much as they play on their regular account, when a new set drops, a new expansion comes out, they don't have infinite resources. Like right now, if a new set dropped right now, Shadow dropped on us, 120 cards, I could buy all of them right now. I could have every single card without a doubt. Most of the people in my chat right now and their respective servers, if a new set dropped right now, they could get the entire set, every copy of a card, no problem. But if you told me, hey buddy, there's a big grassroots $1,000 tournament in Europe tomorrow, and a new set came out, not even a new set come out, if you just told me that much, like, hey, there's going to be a $1,000 tournament in Europe tomorrow, I'd be like, okay, I would make an EU account, but I'd immediately have to drop like $50, $60 to buy cards because I don't have cards on that account, because I don't grind EU account, because I'm an NA player, so I play on my NA account in my NA region, getting my NA ladder points, you know? So having cross shards would have to eliminate all of that frustration and have to either buy, like spend actual money on, you know, cards and doing it that way, or forcing me to grind and spend time grinding on a region that isn't going to be too useful for me because my meta that everything I need to prepare for is not going to be that. It's going to be a different server and a different meta. Yeah, so that would help out so much. Frequently asked questions. How long does it take to complete the CZ rewards route? I don't care. How do we have favorite format to be added to weekly fighter arenas? Or how can we get the favorite format? Weekly fighting arena. That's a great question. We partnered with the Reddit community to get feedback, so be sure to pin the Reddit thread. Okay. Basically go to Reddit about Last Judgment Rune Season in the old system. Winners of the Last Judgment Rune Season will also be directly qualified. I don't know what this means. I don't know because there's a translation difference. This might just be saying, what about the seasonal winners or something? Can I earn Runeterra points in the open beta pass? No, we know that. How long is seasons? Oh, seasons are going to last for 3 months. Each season will consist of 2 ranked sessions. Oh, so they're going to reset the ranked ladder. That's really cool. That's really cool. They're resetting ranked ladder twice, but the seasons are going to be 3 months. That's pretty interesting. How long is the open beta? Fine-tuning done within a few months. We'll let players know in advance before the open beta season ends. Okay, so no definitive date. That's pretty cool. But it looks like it's a couple months. So I'd probably guess around 3 months, maybe 4, would be my guess. Probably closer to 3 months. Ideally, it's only like fucking 2, but probably closer to 3 months. Because I feel like there's going to be a lot of information and a big switch and a big change for Riot to go through. Will the season rewards route be updated every season? Yes. Whoa, season, what is that? Okay, so it's just saying there's going to be 2 opens in a season and then a big qualifier 1 in the season. So yeah, so that's the rundown. This is exciting. This is so exciting. I will be honest, I was pretty done with competitive LoR going at the end of last year because the way it was looking, it didn't really look like it rewarded the best players consistently. It did no slight to any of the winners or no slight to the people that did get rewarded, no slight to any of that. I'm not trying to throw shade at people, but we very clearly saw some of the best players across both regions just not get to participate in a lot of really big tournaments, or they got, you know, unfortunate like twice and that was it. That was their whole year or 2 years of work just gone because of how the system was set up. So this is insanely good. They're not forcing us to climb the ladder, which is the #1 complaint a lot of competitive players had. This is very cool from a creator standpoint. This is also very good. If you don't give 2 flying fucks about competitive, just from a creator, you know, YouTube standpoint, this right here should be extremely exciting. Having, you know, this funky ass game mode, this funky game mode, like having new deck building restrictions is going to be really cool because like singleton is cool, and the reason you don't see as much singleton content is because singleton still has a lot of restrictions. Like, to build a singleton deck, there's really only so much funny things you can do with singleton for a couple reasons. One, it's very specific on its restrictions. You can only have 1 copy of a card. You can only have 3 regions. So if you wanted to build a funny deck, it'd be really hard to. You could build general archetypes, but it's really hard to build a specific deck because you can only have 1. You can only have 3 regions and 1 of each thing. As well as the funny thing you want to do, if you do find a funny combo, it's not going to be consistent because you only have 1 of each card. So if I found some really interesting, like hilarious combo in Shadow Isles and, you know, Freljord between these 2 cards, like let's say Ari Kinnan is like super funny, right? And it's like, oh, it does some like crazy bonkers thing, theoretically. It doesn't matter because I only get to play one copy of them in my deck. So the odds of me actually drawing both Ari and Kinnan in the game and pulling off the funny, like crazy combo is not high. So that's why Singleton isn't really used much for the like funny, you know, creator style videos. But things like make infinite champions or any region, like no region restriction, any card you want in just a 30 card deck, like I will tell you, this format alone is going to have the most degenerate decks we've ever seen. Like, you guys thought TF Fizz and Azir Aurelia and Aphelios, like Zoe, Aphelios Twisted Fate was degenerate? Like, you have no idea what a 30 card limit deck of any card in the game. I assume you can still only have like 3 of each card, I hope. But assuming even that, like, if you put 10 copies of a card, 10 copies of, like, different cards in your deck, and that's it, like, this is going to be the most degenerate format we've ever seen. And it's going to be hilarious, and I'm here for it. But all in all, this announcement was 10 out of 10. The best announcement Riot has ever made for Legends of Runeterra after announcing that they made Legends of Runeterra. So I'm super excited. I'm definitely on board with the competitive scene. I already said in my last video yesterday that we're coming back to competitive this year. And with this announcement, I am fully on board with that. I can't wait to see the new, the further announcements announcing like their pricing structure and stuff like that. But with just what we have right now, I am so unbelievably excited. It's insane. But that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to comment down below what thing you're most excited for in this change. Let me know if you're interested in getting into competitive. This was gonna be a place for you, and enjoy the Discord is the #1 place for the competitive content. So that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys in the next video.